nest here on a kind of chilly and rainy, drizzly day. It's the perfect day for coffee though, which I've had. And it's kind of affected me. Even though it was caffeine free, it did have a fair amount of sugar. So, anyway, sorry about that. Let's go ahead and get to it. We're going to be looking at this really cool seamless pattern. It's a leafy pattern that is actually an offset pattern, and it's actually pretty straightforward to make, but it's a little bit more challenging than some of the offset patterns we've made before. So I have created a little guide that I actually use throughout the video and have made available to you for free at my site. Just go there and get it. It's an instant download. And I will leave a link in the description below if I haven't already said that. Like I said, the coffee's kind of getting to me. Anyway, let's go ahead and get to it. I have open here a 12-inch by 12-inch canvas at 300 dpi, just so I can get the best resolution, and especially when I create a stamp from this brush that we're going to make. 12 by 12 is usually the largest size that I will use in my projects. Okay, and to get started, I'm going to download, I actually have saved it already to my photos, a little helper tool that you can get from my site at Pinecone Pencil. I'll leave a link in the description below, but let's go ahead and insert that photo. And this will just help me when I'm creating my pattern. These squares are color-coded to be corresponding, and as I create this pattern, it's going to become a lot more clear about how to use this tool. So we'll just kind of wait until we get through this a little ways to sort of talk about what's going on here. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I have black for my color, which I do, and I'm going to go down to calligraphy set and blotchy. And now I'm going to just start drawing. So I'll speed up the video as I draw through and then slow it back down so we can talk about what's happening in these squares. So first thing I want to do though is create a new layer. So what I've got going on here is we've got to start here, and I don't want it to look too much like it's just in a row, like it's a stripe. That's part of the whole organic look of the pattern itself. So what I've got is these corresponding squares, and so for example, right here in this green square, I've got a lot of leaves right here, and then I've got this leaf that's actually the same green square, and this is going to pop up when we have our pattern right in here. So I just want to make sure that the different ones are not interfering with each other, but also that there's a little bit of space between them so that it looks really good. So I'm going to take this one. I might have to come back and modify this at some point, but I'm going to start with this, and I'm going to move everything out because we've got some spaces in here. And so let's go ahead and do that. That'll be the next step here. We're going to go ahead and go up to our layer here, and we're going to duplicate that, slide it gently to the left and tap duplicate. And then we're going to go ahead and select the transform tool, and we're going to move this out. I've got snapping and a distance of 3, which is the default, selected, and I'm going to go ahead and move the one layer that I have already, and I want to see the golden line this way, but also the golden line for the center. So when I've got it matched up like that, I can let go. Now I'm going to take the other layer, the one that's below it, and take the transform tool and move it over to the right, and basically look for the same thing, those golden lines set up, and there we go. So what I've really just done is I've moved the original pattern that was in the center out to the sides, and so this is where the pattern will link back up as the tiles go on. And now I can see like where I have any gaps and what I might want to do. So I've got this little bit of purple coming down in here, or this leaf coming into the purple right here, but I do have a little bit of a gap, and so I'm thinking that maybe something right in here. I'm trying to decide just how big I want to make that, or maybe I want to have it come like through this way, or even from the gray, so like the gray over and maybe into the blue just slightly like that. I think that might look kind of nice, but I could also go from the yellow this way too. So I'm trying to decide what I'm going to do. And once again, I'm just going to go ahead and speed up the video while I draw this. Okay, now I think that looks pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and turn off, oops, whoa, I'm going to have a little accident there. Let's see, okay. All right, let's try that again. Without throwing things, I'm going to go ahead and turn off the visibility of this particular layer. And then I'm going to go ahead and merge the second layer here, the part that I just added, down. So tap that layer and select merge down. Okay, and now I'm ready to go ahead and start positioning things. So I'm going to go ahead and create a duplicate. And I'm going to select my transform tool. And now I'm going to go up here. I'm going to move it up into this corner. And I am actually looking for the crosshairs here. I want the center point of that one that I'm moving to be right here. So as soon as you see golden lines on the edge here and up there, that's good. Okay, whoops. And now we're going to do the same thing here, duplicate that one, and we're going to bring it up though to the right hand side, and we're looking to put it in the center again. So there we go, just like that. These are a little close. I might want to just play with that a little bit. I'm not sure. It's going to be coming down to there too. So I'm just trying to decide, okay, now that I've done that, that's this right here. So I'm thinking that if I just made it a little bit smaller, it would look better right in there. But it does kind of hide, maybe if I got rid of that leaf instead. So I'm going to back out a couple steps because I want to change that bit right there. So we're just going to back up. Okay. And actually it was right in here. I got too close. So I'm going to take that one out. I'm going to use my eraser, and I'm going to go ahead and select script there for an eraser. And I'm just going to, let's see, it's this one right there. Okay. Just felt a little too close. Actually, all of this feels just a little too much. And I'm thinking this leaf right here can go too. So just take that out. And that way it gives it a little bit more space in there too, which I think I kind of need. Okay, so now let's go ahead and see how that looks. That looks pretty good that way. So, okay, once again, we're going to hide that little square, and we're going to go ahead. Actually, let me just do a little bit better job on erasing there now that I can see everything. Okay. Okay, so now let's go ahead and merge these two layers together. Awesome. Sometimes you just have to look at it before you know. And then actually I'm going to just kind of clean this little edge up right there. Okay, that's looking good. Okay, so now I'm ready to duplicate it. And I'm going to put that first one up here in the corner. And again, we're just lining it up. Whoa. Lining it up for the center right there. Okay. And then once again, duplicate, and then bring this up here. Okay, that looks much better, much cleaner. I like the way that looks. That's flowing nicely. Okay, I'm glad we made that change there. So, oops, duplicate. And I'm going to move this down to the bottom, and we're looking for the center of this panel to be on the corner of the canvas. So there we go. And doing the same thing again, duplicate, but this time to the right. Down, whoops, whoa, just hit reset if that happens. Okay. Okay, there we go. Okay, we're going to go into our brushes here, and under Essential Starters here, I have something called a texture starter, and that's what I'm going to use here. So I'm going to slide that over and duplicate it, and then I'm going to bring that, let's see, where do I want to put that? I'll just leave it here for now. I can move it later. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here to my wrench and add and copy canvas, and then under that copy of texture starter I'm going to go ahead and tap that, and this will tell you which one of the either shape or grain to replace in terms of the picture, and in this case it is the grain. So we're going to tap edit, import, and paste, and this shows up great. We want the leaves to be white, which they are, so that's awesome. So we're just going to go ahead and tap done when we're done there. And so if you notice here, there's no transparency quality coming through, and I want there to be. So what we need to do is go to rendering and change that to light glaze, and then it will be the way we want it to be. Oh, that looks really neat already. And one thing I want to think about when I go back to grain is the scale here. I think I might dial that up just a little bit. Oh, yep, okay, that looks pretty good. Okay, and then when I'm satisfied, I'm just going to go ahead and tap done. And now it's time to test my new pattern. So let's go back to our layers. Go to the top one, add a new layer, and we're just going to fill that layer with white, and then add a new layer above that, and then we're going to select sort of a nice green, maybe greenish blue, greenish blue color, something like that. That looks like a nice color. All right, and let's see, how big do we want this? Yeah, as big as it can be. Okay, and then we're just going to lay it down. That is a nice pattern. That came out very nice. I like it. Okay, I might want to play with the scale just a little bit more, but this is pretty good. So when I get it all set like this, let's go ahead and blow this up a bit so you can see it. I just love that. That would make, oh gosh, a great pillow cover or scrapbooking paper or wrapping paper or something like that. I just really dig that. That's a really cool, it's a really cool pattern. Like I say, I will leave a link in the description below for that little helper tool that you can get. And also a link in the description for those essential starters. And I hope you have fun making this pattern, and also I hope your day is amazing.